No one warns you that one of the hardest parts of motherhood isn't the lack of sleep, it's the constant stimulation. The noise, the clutter, the touching, the questions, the invisible to-do list running in your brain all day. And eventually, your nervous system just hits a limit. And researchers actually have a name for this. It's called sensory overload in motherhood. Overstimulation happens when your nervous system receives more input than it can process. And researchers studying sensory overload describe it as a state where the brain becomes overwhelmed by noise, touch, visual input, and emotional demands happening all at once. And motherhood is basically the perfect environment for that. Kids are touching you constantly. Someone is saying mom every few seconds. There are toys everywhere, questions being asked, decisions to make, and a mental checklist running in your brain all day. Even clutter in your home can contribute to overstimulation. Research published in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin found that women who described their homes as cluttered or chaotic had higher levels of stress hormone cortisol, meaning physical environments can directly input how overwhelmed you feel. Your brain is constantly scanning everything around you, the toys on the floor, the dishes in the sink, the laundry that needs to be folded, and one of those things becomes another piece of information your brain is trying to process. For me, it's sound. Sound will usually be the thing that puts me over the edge. There's even a specific term many moms talk about called being touched out. And psychologists describe this as sensory fatigue from constant physical contact throughout the day. Your nervous system simply reaches its limit for touch. But overstimulation just isn't physical. There's also something researchers call the mental load of motherhood. A neuroscience review published in 2024 in Communication Psychology described the mental load as constant planning, remembering, organizing, emotional management that keeps a household running. Motherhood. It's the invisible to-do list in your head. Things like remembering doctor's appointment, planning meals, scheduling activities, packing bags, anticipating problems, keeping track of everyone's emotional needs. Research has found that mothers often carry the majority of this mental load in the household, which means your brain isn't just processing sensory input, it's also running the entire family operating system. So if you ever wondered why small things suddenly irritate you, or why noise or mess can make you feel overwhelmed, it's not because you're feeling as a mom, it's because your nervous system is overloaded. The good news is that there are ways to help regulate it. One of the biggest things in reducing sensory input, even briefly, is turning off background noise, stepping outside for a few minutes, or creating a quiet moment can help your nervous system reset, which is why I'm in the sauna. Another helpful strategy is taking micro breaks. Even 5 minutes of quiet and calm the brain and restore emotional regulation. I like to breathe, smell the roses, blow out the candles. Reducing visual clutter can also make a big difference in simplifying spaces. Putting toys away, resetting just one room can lower the amount of visual information your brain has to process. So sharing the mental load is another major factor. When one person carries all of the planning, remembering, decision making, the brain never really gets a break, and sometimes it's okay to create non-touch time for yourself. If you're feeling touched out, your body just needs a moment where it belongs only to you. Motherhood is beautiful, but it's also incredibly demanding on the human nervous system. If you feel overstimulated sometimes, it doesn't mean you don't love your kids. It's your brain. It means your brain is processing thousands of inputs while trying to run an entire family. And sometimes the most important thing you can do is to give your nervous system permission to breathe. Smell the roses, blow out the candles.